What's up, guys? Hope everyone is doing well today. I am here with a very special guest today. I am here with RHMax to discuss a very interesting topic that I feel like doesn't get a lot of light in PulseChain, that I think RHMax is really taking the charge on, which I have to commend him for. We're going to be talking, my boy. We're going to talk about AI and its ability to combine with crypto. So I want to just get right to it. RH, what got you interested in AI and how has it changed the way that you personally work?
It's the future. It reminds me of, so have you saw the movie The Aviator with
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
I haven't.
You haven't? Oh, that's a great movie, by the way. But, he starts getting like ill and stuff. And he's like, show me the blueprint, show me the blueprints, show me the blueprints. And the future, he like keeps saying that over and over. So when you say like, why AI? I'm like, because it's the future. Like it's obvious it's the future, if you've been paying attention. But thankfully, or not, a lot of people haven't, and that's why I get into it, man. I'm like, I really think there's all these niche areas where I have this background, this experience, or this interest, and I kind of shift between different like validators. It became a hobby of mine because like I was like, nobody knows about this stuff. There's only like 3 people in the entire community talking about this. Like I want to talk more about this. I feel like there's a place for me to like shed a light on all these things that are pivotal going forward. And like somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to talk about this and get people interested. So with AI, I mean, really, I don't know how to express like how important it is.
I agree.
I get it. Like, and I don't think, I think 99% of people do not. And I mean, hopefully we're going to get into, like I told you, I want to make this an interactive conversation. Like it is hard to say how important it is and how interesting and useful and how much it's going to be a big part of our lives going forward.
I agree.
And how cool it is to get an edge. Like I've been trying to give myself an edge. Like I've been like deep diving every day, trying different techniques and different tools and different ways in order to share on Twitter and share on stream too, and share next week when I do AI crypto week of like how to give people an edge in our community for this stuff. Because I think that's the most important thing you can do when you're early in something. Figure out how you're going to have an edge in it,
Yes.
and how to give other people an edge. So I want to ask you too, Corey. Like, have you used any of the AI tools? Like, have you like ChatGPT or otherwise?
I've used ChatGPT extensively. I've actually, you posted something a couple of weeks ago that I was like, holy shit, he's right. Like you posted like, oh, like ChatGPT is basically like, it's compatible with your mobile, so you can literally ask it questions as opposed to Google. Like I was on ChatGPT last night, and there was an interesting painting that it romanticizes Rome, and I was curious about like the wars between Rome and Alba Longa. About 85 years into Rome's history as just a little small kingdom city-state. And I was having a back and forth conversation with ChatGPT. I've had conversations with ChatGPT about like muscle versus strength and how correlated they are in. I've had conversations with ChatGPT with their perspectives on different political philosophies and what the political beliefs are of these philosophies. And I want to say to you, like, I agree, like you have to be early. Like there's a floating narrative right now that's very quiet, very subtle, but I'm seeing it more and more now. Not as much as I'd like, but it's something called DeFi. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's decentralized science. And I think decentralized science will be huge in the future. And the reason why is because AI will probably, given the fact that many people are nervous, at least in my opinion, about what exactly is going to happen with AI from a centralized perspective. How can AI benefit us from a decentralized perspective? And decentralized science, like a lot of people, they say trust the science, but it's very difficult to trust the science when a lot of centralized science conglomerates, again, I'm not saying don't trust science, I'm not saying that, but it's hard to trust whether they have motives or there's political maxims behind the scenes. So I think decentralized science going, maybe not this cycle, but down the road with AI, I think it'll play a huge role. Because I remember, do you remember AGI back in 2017? It's a Cardano side chain right now. It's Singularity.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the coin, but I know the concept. Artificial.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
So,
there's a concept on it. Okay.
yeah, no. So Singularity AI was like came out in like 7 years ago, and I feel like it was way before its time. But now it's like AI is here. So yes, I have used ChatGPT. I haven't used others like Midjourney, but I have used ChatGPT.
Okay. Have you used it for doing any crypto stuff?
By what means?
Like, have you used it for content creation?
No,
Oh
not at
gosh,
all. Actually, no.
excuse me. Content creation, or like just looking up, like, hey, go find me the top 10 L1s in this way.
No, I
Or those.
haven't actually. No.
If you mind if I share my screen?
Go ahead.
I'll just put it up there because I think I can give people a visual on some of the things that I've been talking about on Twitter here.
Yeah, I'm genuinely curious because I find AI to be a very like I can't believe the things that I've been able to do. Like actually, you're actually going to appreciate this, Max. And I've used actually AI with my students. So
Nice.
so basically, like we were learning about the Civil War, and I went on to character AI, and I had my students talk to Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth, Jefferson Davis, Andrew Johnson,
I know you're a big Civil War buff.
Samuel Tilden. So like going on character AI, if you're a teacher, I highly recommend it because it's so interactive where you can literally talk to these people and get a history lesson in that. I thought it was fucking incredible. Sorry, I'll shut up because AI is very interesting to me.
No, so like just thinking about that for a moment too, like how does that work? Like when I think about that, it sounds like they took these, like, so you have ChatGPT, which is like this general GPT, this general AI thing that you talk to that's based on all these like LLMs and different concepts, which I'll talk about more fundamentals next week in the stream. So, but just so you have GPT or you have ChatGPT, and then you can make your own custom GPTs. Like Corey could go and like you could go and download a bunch of data about Jefferson Davis or Abraham Lincoln or whoever, and then feed that, go to ChatGPT and say, oh, I want to create my own GPT, and create your own, Abraham Lincoln model, your own GPT that knows all the stuff about Abraham Lincoln, maybe specialized stuff that wasn't, could be found on the internet. Maybe you fed it some proprietary data source or otherwise, or just a bunch of stuff, and be like, okay, you're Abraham Lincoln, pretend to be this person when I talk to you. And then you could just have a conversation. You could go do that now. Like you could literally go create that with these custom GPTs on the ChatGPT platform. So anyway, when you said that, I was like, oh, I wonder, that's probably how it works. They probably just trained a bunch of these custom GPTs to be people. And that's something that everyone can do today. But like you never thought about that, right? Like,
No, I don't even know what GPT means.
Yeah. Well, actually, off the top of my head, what does it mean? I actually saw this the other day, GPT meaning. What does the word stand for? Generative pre-training transformer. There you go. It doesn't matter, but like that's what it means. Like it means an ability, like you have your own little AI that you can train to do stuff. Just think about it like that. So
I love AI.
We could train one to be Richard. We could be like, here's all of Richard's tweets. Like actually, that's pretty kind of an ideal for me to do. Maybe I'll do that sometime. If I could scrape all of Richard's tweets, I could take that data, feed it to a custom GPT. Again, this is just clicking buttons on a platform. This is gathering data, clicking buttons on. I'll show everyone how to do it next week, but clicking buttons on a platform, feeding it data, telling it what to do, telling it, hey, you are this person, or you are the AI version of this person, for example. And then so answer the questions, or talk to me as that person would. I kind of do want to train that now. That's a great. See, talking to you, give me ideas, man, right there.
It's so awesome. Like, and you can say some funny shit to it. Like I said to John Wilkes Booth, like, bro, you're a shitty actor, and that's why you got mad at Abraham Lincoln. He's like, how dare you make fun of my acting skills? I was the best actor in antebellum America. And it's like, oh, shut up. And then like I would say to Andrew Johnson, like, you know what? You suck. You are a racist. You are basically just a dumb drunk. And he's like, well, don't make fun of my alcoholism. That's not very nice of you. And it's like, and it's fucking hilarious because you're having this back and forth conversation with these character AIs, and you learn about their personality traits. Obviously, you take it as a grain of salt because it's AI, but like, there's some historical context to that if you have that background knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, imagine when the internet first came out. I mean, I always hate these comparisons to like big world events that are technology and stuff, but really when I talk about the three biggest things that have happened in the past 20 years, let's say 20, 30 years, it has been the internet, it has been crypto, and now it's AI. Like it's undoubtedly AI. Like this stuff, and this is, I just want to go through a couple examples too to show some of the stuff. So there's this reworked AI, which Agent GPT here.
What is the difference between Agent and ChatGPT?
So Agent is this concept that I was actually listening to a really cool video this morning about. So essentially, like Agent is a bunch of GPTs. So imagine you have a team. You have a team of people, making a token, right? Some people, like one person does marketing, one person's a CEO. They make all the big decisions, they have the high level vision, whatever. And you got a couple devs. So if you were to take that team and be like, okay, I'm going to make that AI. I'm going to make that entire team AI. Maybe you leave the CEO role for the human or whatever, but I'm going to take each one of those people or those roles, and I'm going to make a GPT that's really good at dev. And I'm going to make a GPT that's really good at front end dev and back end dev, like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to make one specialize in branding and marketing and image generation and content creation, whatever. And then you're like, okay, for example, with this, if you were to agentify, I forget what the technical term is, but it's like the ability to take these different GPTs and for them to work together on a common goal. That's what agents kind of are. Like you can think of an agent system as you have a bunch of different GPTs that, for example, on this, if I were to say the goal was go look up all the tokenomics for PulseChain and then put together, if you were to launch it on another, I don't know, or PulseX, if you're going to launch it on Ethereum, tell me what I need to do. Each GPT, each part of that would go and kick off a different task and go work on that. So it's basically taking, when you're talking to ChatGPT, for example, I'll just go to ChatGPT for a second. I was doing this. I was talking about this video yesterday. I asked it during the stream. I was like, can you, I don't even know what these logos are. Like, what are these other than PulseChain? I know like XRP and Solana and Chainlink, but I don't know what the other one, I guess that's Doge. Like, I don't know what the other ones are. Can you tell me what they are? So it has a vision feature, which you talked about, you can use on your phone too. It's actually pretty cool. Instead of like fixing a toilet, you can just take a picture of broken toilet and be like, instead of a YouTube video, be like, ChatGPT, tell me how to do this. Like, how should I troubleshoot? It'll do that. Anyways, I was like asking it, can you identify the logos? Can you tell me about this stuff? And eventually,
even in the video.
Yeah. Well, eventually I got to it and it's like, okay, it told me a couple of them or so. But if this were a task, if I were like, okay, take this thumbnail and modify it and add different stuff in it, it would need to kick off a bunch of different stuff. So think about ChatGPT as doing one thing at a time. And then Agent GPT is doing a bunch of different things. It'll actually, in this video, you can see it generating task lists, identify all the strategies to make money on PulseChain. And then it'll
I'm sorry, go on.
I mean, that's what I kicked off here. This is what I was using Agent GPT to do. I was like, tell me how to make all the money. Tell me all the different ways to make money on PulseChain. And it's starting task, creating spreadsheet to, gather all the data from, and then kick off another task, go look for all the different ways and then identify those and then put all those tasks in order. And then you can see it here, task added, do this, task added, researching,
That's
putting
incredible.
together a piece. So this is a bunch of different GPTs working together.
Is Agent GPT one of those GPTs that are able to make like I see YouTube, your month as an AI, and it's as a white, not like a white knight, but as a crusader, and it's January, this is what you look like, February. Is that is Agent GPT one of those, or that's straight up mid journey?
Agent GPT is just how to break different tasks down into or break a goal down into tasks. If you think of it, Agent GPT is just the name for this thing. It's like ChatGPT. What is ChatGPT? It's the platform that does the AI stuff. Agent GPT is just the platform where it'll basically kick off a bunch of different tasks to come together and complete a goal. Instead of just, again, you ask ChatGPT one thing, can you do this? Can you identify the logos? Well, maybe not. Instead of that, I would be like, my goal is to identify the, ugliest logos and remove them and replace with all RH coin logos. So it would be like, okay, first thing it would kick off is, okay, what are these logos? Second task it would kick off, okay, what, based on data on the internet, what do people find attractive about the logos? Which ones are the worst ones? Okay. Third task, remove all those logos. Fourth task, search the RH coins, find those logos. Fifth task, add those logos into place. Sixth task, generate a new thumbnail. That's what agents do. Agents that use GPTs, that's what they would do. When that's what Agent GPT would do, for example, versus Chat GPT, which is just like one. Right. It's a conversation versus a team. Think about it like that. Like I'm having a conversation here, but then I have a team that will go do work for me. They will complete a goal for me here. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. This is very interesting stuff. I mean, I'm a huge fan of AI. And guys, like, if you haven't yet, make sure to go in the description and follow RHMax on Twitter and subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's going to be doing, like I said, AI week next week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel as well. Consider donating to the channel for super chats or super likes or whatever. It'll just help the channel grow. And yeah, man, keep going. I love to
get
hear
some
this.
Super comments in there and get some really nice comments.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in this next example, it created a custom. So I was like, okay, I want to do the custom GPT. So with this one, I just said, okay, again, it's really simple. You go to the interface. It's like, you can do explore. You can do, if you go under this, it's got like create all that. I'll have all the instructions and some of the tweets and talk about it next week too. But you just name it. Okay, what do you want it to do? I want to answer questions about PulseX. And then here, actually use the Agent GPT to go find a lot of information about PulseX. Because if you ask GPT, Chat GPT, it'll be like, my data cuts off. I don't have a lot of information, whatever. Yep. So I'm like, okay, I'm not using you. Forget you then. I'm going to use the Agent GPT, which can actually go off and do web search. I mean, Chat GPT can do web searches too, but I used Agent GPT to put together a big body of work. So I can have as much information on PulseX as possible. And then I downloaded the results from that and into PDFs. I uploaded 2 PDFs and I turned on web browsing capabilities. It can use that if it wants to. And then I was like, okay, now that I've loaded all the information, I've trained you with the information. Tell me about incentive token. And now it's okay. I know about that. You give me the information. I can answer. I can be your PulseX 101. You can ask me whatever questions you want. And based on all the data you gave me, it's kind of like creating your own encyclopedia, but like a chatbot encyclopedia. And you can do it for anything you have a lot of information on. And now you can get it to teach you about incentive token. And it just, instead of you doing Google searches about all this stuff, if you gave it all the good information, you could just ask it. It could be your partner for learning. So that's one of the easiest things. Like you can do a custom GPT to do that. And then a whole bunch of other stuff. Like we'll talk about video, like content creation now. I was amazed. You can literally get an AI promo video. It took me like 10 minutes. I could create a promo video for Hex. And yeah, he said Hex funny or what, like in a funny way, but like I spent 10 minutes. If you spend 20 minutes, you can probably fix all that. And I don't have any sound on this, but essentially like all I did was tell it. I said, I used this Veed Studio GPT. And I said, create a video that was like, yeah, Hex.com's awesome. Make it for crypto people, give me an optimistic mood and do like the default length or whatever time you have. And then it asked me for data. So I just went to another GPT on ChatGPT and said, give me all the selling points for Hex crypto. How would you sell that to people? And then when it created it, it just opened it up. It gave me the Veed portal. It showed me the thing. And all I did was fix some captions. And it did like a minute video on how to like promoting Hex and talking about all the key selling points. And it gave this guy he's AI. He's not a real person.
I'm trying to find it so I can play the music, play the thing in the background. Is it on your Twitter? Because I'm on your Twitter and I'm trying to play in the background.
Let me send it to you. Let me send you the second one, which is
can you send it to me via Twitter DMs if that's okay?
Yeah, I'll DM to you real quick. Because the second one actually pronounces it better. Because I learned from the first one. The first one I was like, okay, for the second one I used a different GPT, but I was like, pronounce Hex like HECKS, Hex like.
Why is it like or something like that?
He said it just like I don't know how he said it. It was like HEX or whatever it was. It was like, oh, okay, this is not so great. So, but yeah, check that one out and play if you want to play that video.
Did you DM me on Twitter or is it? Oh, cool, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me play the music in the background.
Okay.
All right.
Opportunity. Earn an average of 38% APY on mining without the hassle of hardware. 4 years of flawless operation, setting the standard in the crypto world. Mint your own rewards in a system where you're in complete control. Witness significant growth, turning 57 cents into $118 with Hex in the previous crypto market cycle. Now on PulseChain, saving you even more on transaction fees. Join a culture of innovation with people who are here for the tech and price performance. A fully decentralized platform powered by the people for the people. Outperforming giants, Hex has set a new benchmark for growth. Secured by top auditors, ensuring your peace of mind. Plan with confidence with a capped inflation rate of 3.69%. The longer you commit, the more you earn. It's that simple. Hex, secure, rewarding, yours to discover. Join us today.
That was fucking incredible. That was awesome.
In a few minutes, again, it could be so much. If I would have spent an hour, it could have been, this incredible, but I didn't tell it to use those images. I only changed a few captions. I did modify it a little bit to be like, okay, use, we're in it for the tech price performance. I did like that kind of thing, but it created the script. It generated the data, or I generated the data and gave it to it. I just told it, like, give me some, I took the selling points I got before and it created, I got this other GPT to create an outline, create a script. And I gave it to this NVIDIA thing, and just in a few minutes, boom.
That's amazing.
A few minutes. Like, how is that possible, Corey? Like,
fuck if I knew. I mean, like I said, like that was very, very like high tech. Like, I'm starting to see like videos now that are saying this is AI, and it looks like a person. You can't distinguish whether or not it's a person or not. And the only way that you can tell is like maybe by a quick error on their finger or something like that. It's becoming so real that it's actually becoming quite frightening. And like, what's
the number of limbs? They tend to, for some reason, the drawing apps tend to like, mess up the number of fingers and toes and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. That's like one way you can tell. But yeah, it's this. Imagine like when the internet first came out, people were like, "Oh, wow, who would send an email? I can send a letter." Like, who was going to be do manually video editing in the future? Like, who's going to be like do, unless you're getting paid big bucks to do some like amazing thing. Pretty good. It's going to be good enough. Pretty good is going to be what everyone's doing, and everyone else can pay really talented humans to do it. But the AI. This is just like exponential curve, man. Like it's crazy.
No, it's incredible to see. Like I'm kind of in shock with what like I remember, a good friend of mine was like, try ChatGPT. It may benefit you in a lot of ways. And I was like, I've heard of ChatGPT, but never really tried it. And I tried it, and I was like blown away by the way it acted. Same thing with like I look at Midjourney and the AI and the artistry it creates, and like now this where it's like. A lot of people, including myself, are not really that adept in creating promotional content. Like, we make our standard thumbnail, which most of my thumbnails are all right. But like a video like that's like something you would expect from like a high grade corporate entity to do something like that. Like that was very high grade.
Or at least a person who took like an hour or two of their time and already had a script together and maybe even spent a whole day. You would pay someone a whole day to start from scratch who didn't know anything to do that.
Exactly.
And now you can do 10 videos like that if you really worked at it per day. And this is just like the first version. This is like the very beginning of it. So the other thing I think is like fascinated me was websites. And I was thinking, there's got to be a way to create websites using this thing. And of course there is. Like literally 5 minutes. When I do this stuff, I literally time it, like how long it takes me to do it. It took me 5 minutes to make a website. So again, you in the marketplace, you have all these different GPTs. So I was quickly like, if you do explore GPTs, and you got to have the pro version. So again, everyone, for the love of God, if you're going to prioritize things in your life, I would get rid of Netflix. I'd get rid of like whatever other $20 subscription you have. I would pay $100 a month for ChatGPT. No problem. I would do it. Thankfully I can afford it, but like that's how much value it has. I don't know if I'd do 200. I feel like 100 to 150 bucks is the fair value per month, at least at this point, maybe more in the future, to use ChatGPT Pro or Premium or whatever this is.
It's wild to me. It's really wild how fast AI has come from like, I remember first hearing about ChatGPT during COVID, and now it's like, holy shit. Like, it's like, I can only imagine what it's going to look like in 10 years.
Dude, and like that kind of, but a lot of people are like, oh, it's not free. Like, I don't want to use it because of that. I'm telling you, more than likely you're cheating yourself. If you're not paying for at least chat, there's all kinds of AI tools. but at least ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure there's a clear case to be made that you're cheating yourself out of more productivity, easy answers. They got the app, which you can walk around literally and take a picture of something that's broken, and it'll tell you how to fix it. Like it's like, talk about transhumanism, like we'll be one with a robot, all that stuff. This is the easiest way to not be fully connected to a robot, but have access to all the information you could possibly want and all the capabilities. And it's really a handicap if you don't have, like I was talking to Gifford Ware the other day. I was like, dude, if you're not using AI for creating content or for like whatever, asking questions or figuring stuff out or learning, you're handicapping yourself by not paying $20 or whatever it is. It's just because you got to have the premium plan. There's a free version, but if you do the premium plan, you get access to all these GPTs. And that's a lot of what I'm making this stuff. I'm using to make this stuff is people make these GPTs. ChatGPT makes them, and a lot of other companies and community does. And then literally, I was like, you spin up this Grimoire one, which does websites. And I literally just said, make a website promoting hex.com with polygons or with hexagons. I said like a bunch of other stuff. And I just copy and pasted. I went to PulseChain.com. PulseChain.com. And I copy and pasted this. Yeah, I copy and pasted the PulseChain goals. Copy and pasted that. And I said, make a website promoting PulseChain using this data. And I pasted whatever, I just copy and pasted it. And then it's like, okay, do you want me to deploy it? I'm like, yeah, do it. And then I did like an iteration or two, but like the first version, literally within 5 minutes. And then I think I just changed. I said, okay, make sure to do it in these colors and use this gradient and all this stuff. And literally, even now you can go to it. You click on this link. Oh, no, actually, I guess they delete it if you don't claim it after a while. Never mind. But for like a day or so, I'm sure you can be like, keep it, or I'm sure they just delete it when you're not using it for a while. But you can create an entire website in 5 minutes that looks like this. Just a simple PulseChain goals, like, do all the stuff and then click a button. I said, at the end of it, say, continue to PulseChain.com or like continue on to the main website. And it made a button. You click that button, it'll take you to PulseChain.com. So
that's
this
amazing.
Is 5 minutes. You don't have to have any infrastructure. You don't have to do cloud hosting. You don't have to do any of this stuff. You just have to use this app to create a website in 5 minutes. What the heck? Like, what is going on, man?
No, that to me is like out of this world. Like, even to think that like 10 years ago, like this was unthinkable technological innovation. It's so wild to me when I see the capabilities of AI. Like, I don't really talk about AI that often, but I use AI fairly frequently. And it's a shock to me how fast it has evolved. And how, like, I really do believe that somehow, some way, it may not be called DeFi, but I do believe DeFi and AI will play a role in future narratives in blockchain. I started seeing it in 2017 where different projects were trying to decentralize the medical field. They were trying to decentralize they were trying to decentralize different avenues with technological innovation in the science sector. But it really never took off. But now you kind of have the tools to create a DeFi. And again, for those who don't know what DeFi is, decentralized science, a decentralized science atmosphere with AI. So I'm very curious to see where this goes in the future.
Oh, there's a ton of stuff. I mean, at this point, I don't even know what we would use AI crypto for as far as platforms go.
Right.
I feel like you asked me a month or two from now, I could probably wrap my head more around it. It's just so, I mean, you could do something with like price oracles or be other oracles or you'd have like AI services that are connected from smart contracts, like getting data feeds in some way.
Find bugs. You don't need to do a bounty program.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about like if you were to create a platform or token based on AI. Like to me, it's kind of like what is it? What do we need AI for? There will be a reason. It will be amazing. I don't think we've discovered it yet, or at least I haven't. But as far as like, if you want to do smart contract auditing, like I did a post earlier, like I literally asked GPT what things a person in the crypto community could use GPT for. And it gave me 10 things. And let me just pull them up real quick. And I tweeted about them because I was like, you guys want to have utility? Literally, I asked the AI what people in the crypto community I said, pretend you're in crypto community and you want to have utility and contribute. List 10 things GPT can help you do. Create educational content. This can help you easily. You feed it data, you feed it pulsechain.com stuff or whatever, you feed it other data, it can help you create tutorials, articles, like write for you. We even talk about writing. Like writing to me is like the most boring thing that everyone already knows about. But obviously it can like help you write articles. It can help you write whatever. But to hit on what you were saying with the smart contract code stuff, yeah, like you can literally feed it code and be like, does this work? Tell me all the bugs. Is this risky? Is it a scam? You know, like all that stuff too. Like that's an obvious use for it. And translations, like I know communities and other across the world, you know, maybe you want to translate some documents into Chinese or Japanese or German or whatever it is. There's a ton of stuff to do from it. So it's a game changer, man, for productivity. Oh, like one other example I can show too is,
go ahead.
Today I was like, I wonder if I just gave it a list of transactions, like the ones on DBank from one of our favorite whales here.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made up a banner.
That's hilarious.
I know, right? I was like, I wonder if I could just copy and paste these transactions and just ask it. Like, I wonder if it can. I mean, I'm sure it can. I just let me try it. Let me copy and paste these and be like, which ones are scams? And DBank's already figured out a lot of them are scams, but like, give me an explanation. And it did. I was like, holy crap. And not only did it give me an explanation, it told me like which ones are likely to be scams, which ones are not, and you know, about the airdrops, NFTs and stuff. It gave me guidance of how to look for those, like scam indicators. Transactions that require users to interact with the external link to claim rewards are suspect and should be approached with caution. Like, yeah, it can literally make you better. Like, just all that stuff is just, I didn't even know it was going to tell me that. I just told me like, tell me what these things do. And it actually gave me some good advice there too.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, like, listen, like I've had like so much personally, so much good experience with ChatGPT from everywhere from exercise to history to so many different personal topics that I enjoy, you know, learning about, and to see it culminating now on the blockchain more frequently, and just, I really hope that, because at least for me, I haven't seen any project on PulseChain that really has harnessed AI yet, and I'm hoping that a legitimate project comes along and plays a role in facilitating DeFi and AI on PulseChain, because I haven't seen a project created on PulseChain yet with it. And also, like, you bring up a good point before about how easy it is to utilize this for marketing marketing tools to get the word out, where, you know, maybe someone doesn't give a shit about reading, you know, a whole entire Twitter thread, but they'll be more or an hour stream, but they'll be inclined to watch, you know, a very high quality 2-minute video surrounding PulseChain and Hex, and that could play a huge role in onboarding. I mean, look at how updated, you know, movies are, the special effects now because of CGI. You know, that could be us utilizing that technology, but with a fraction of a price and time.
Dude, it is one of those things that we'll look back in a few years and be like, oh, like nobody just Googles for stuff anymore. Nobody like just hires people for remedial tasks. Like, it'll be like,
right,
when you hire humans, again, nobody wants to talk about the bad side of AI, of how the bad side, like the negative consequences of,
right,
a lot of entry level jobs are going away. It's obvious. Like, why? And that sucks for people, not because they should be like happy and doing those jobs all the time, but because that's their way of getting experience. Like, we need people working at McDonald's to get job experience. Like, we need these entry level jobs to exist. But now with AI in the coming years, it makes no sense. The company does things for shareholders. If you can automate it with a robot or with a computer chip, you're going to do it. Like shareholders demand maximum profit. It's going to, so it probably will be some government things. There probably will be some regulation around, like, just helping people not get crushed by it, but also not hindering it going forward, because there's a lot of helpful stuff too. And of course, we can talk about deep fakes. We can talk about, like, hey, now it's easy to make a video that looks like, you know, any world leader is declaring war on another world leader.
Yeah, which is fucking terrifying, to say the least.
there's a lot of terrifying stuff,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think the balance between, okay, we need to understand what those things are. Do we have laws and stuff already against that? Do we need to just apply those and make sure people just aren't doing bad things, regardless of what technology they're using to do it? Or is there other regulation that actually makes sense to help with all this stuff? Oh, God forbid, like, I don't like trusting the government to handle a lot of stuff, but they should be this counter to a lot of negative society consequences. Or, I think, again, pragmatic libertarian here. I'm like, okay, there's a little place for a little good things to happen, but mostly not. Like, hands off for the most part. They'll probably screw it up, but hopefully they screwed up less than they had before.
Yeah.
There's a lot of downsides to this AI revolution too, but boy,
I agree.
That's what I want to do with, like, getting into it. Again, I want to be a distraction away from all the crap that happens and goes on in our community and otherwise. I think being heads down into AI is going to be more productive than like everything else going on right now. And I want to give our community an edge. I want to give us an edge. We're the community who, like, blazes through and is so much more productive because we know how to use these tools.
Exactly. And, like, I just want to say one last thing, before we end, is that the Industrial Revolution came about with a lot of problems. I mean, specifically, child labor laws were not a thing. Child abuse was huge in the labor force. There was no rules. There was no safety requirements. People were working 14 to 16-hour days, 7 days a week, 6 days if you were lucky. And a lot of individuals, a lot of monopolies came about, and then you had basically, the antitrust laws that Teddy Roosevelt created. So there is dark components to any revolution, but I would dare say with the Industrial Revolution, the pros will outweigh the cons, and usually the people who see the pros of such a revolution, they don't. I can't really say it, and I can't judge it on the basis of the speed of technological innovation from the late 19th century to now. But, like, I would say all of this issue from, like, the Industrial Revolution, let's say from 1830 up until 1930, the people who reaped the most rewards, I'd say, are the people who lived, 1930 to now. Whereas AI, you're going to have a lot of problems, especially in the labor force, which I have seen in the past a legitimate discussion between, if we're going to get rid of entry-level jobs, then UBI, which you guys don't know if that is, if you guys don't know what it is, universal basic income, will be some sort of political discussion in the future. And because if you're going to get rid of entry-level jobs, and sooner or later AI will probably become so advanced that even the most sophisticated jobs like doctors, lawyers, attorneys, teachers, firefighters, electricians, engineers, software developers will all be done by AI. The legitimate question will be, well, if we're a society now that doesn't need to work, how are we going to, if we're not paid on the basis of our labor or our time or our investments, how are we going to suffice the society? Is everything going to be free? How is that going to work? Is everything going to be free? And then, like, does that mean I can just go to the grocery store and take 70 things of strawberries so no one else can take any? Like, how is this all going to work? And I really think that AI is going to play a major role in political discussion, not now, but in 50 years from now or 100 years from now, probably about 50 years from now, maybe even earlier, it'll be a major discussion. So
it's a tough question. Yeah. Like, what happens to us when our primary goal isn't to work and get satisfaction from, like, just a regular job? Like, not most people they have a regular job, right? They don't have, like, some creative job that they love to do and it feels like play to them instead of work. Most people don't have that. Most people strive for that. But I think at first it'll be like, okay, any kind of entry level job that can be automated with just software will go away. I mean, you got even the higher pay job, even the lawyers, they'll be like, lawyers managing GPT type stuff instead of you get a whole team of lawyers doing stuff. But then that'll leave. And then later on, it'll be like the robots. It'll be actual physical robots,
Right.
taking orders or doing stuff like that. You'll just have a manager who's managing this stuff. Probably something that looks like that is more likely, but I don't like to take I don't know. I hear various opinions on, like, not taking it seriously, like the downsides. And then I also hear the other side of, like, it is all like, this is going to destroy us all. The AI is obviously going to be a Terminator movie. I don't like either of those views. Like I don't subscribe to either one of those views. I don't think we should just be willfully ignorant and be like, oh, it's going to be fine. Industrial Revolution was fine. Like there was no negative consequences that came from that either. Yes. Did the cons outweigh the pros? Of course, but that changed society in a big way too. And so did modern medicine. And so did all it creates these other, you could say, better problems to have.
Yes.
But there are downsides and there are pain in the short term. And that's something to pay attention to and figure out how to get ahead of, and not just be like, oh, we can't stop technology. Bro, I've been working in big tech forever. I love technology. That's been my job. It's been my passion. I'm literally doing AI stuff and supportive of that. But I'm not going to be like, oh, there's not going to be any problems to solve. And
of course.
I want us to be more, I don't know, less ignoring that, less of like, all new technology is great. Nothing bad can ever happen. And acknowledge like, hey, there's some big problems to work out, some big hard things. Like, you mentioned UBI. That's like one of the toughest. It's like one of those problems where it changes what it means to be, what it means to be in a capitalist society.
Yes. No, I agree. It's very well said.
It's not like this, like just little, oh, it'll be fine. It'll work itself out. Like nothing ever just works itself out. It requires smart people thinking long and hard about it and making sacrifices. So I hope we do that.
I agree. And to leave it off on this, I just want to say, I want to quote something that one of the people said in the live chat. I think was really great. Guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Consider donating to the channel for super chats and super likes. It really does help the channel grow. Guys, make sure to go in the description and follow RHMax on Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. He makes fantastic content, so make sure to do that, guys. And I want to leave off with something that PulseX said, and I think it really does play a role. I think I love the glass half full perspective here. Wasn't the nukes, internet, and porn supposed to be the end of society? I have faith that the singularity won't be our demise. I kind of agree. I agree 100%. I think so too. I think that humanity, when actually humanity realizes that if you do something stupid with technology, it'll lead to the extinction of a race, our race. I don't think we're that dumb to literally, for example, like, I hear it on fucking all these news networks saying, oh, World War III is going to destroy us all because, nukes. And it's like, I really don't believe that, Russia, China, and the United States leaders are that stupid to let off 6,000, 7,000 nukes for the continuity of one nation, because there is no nation if there's no continuity. So I share Paul's opinion as well. So
yeah,
all right.
The phrase is wars happen because of miscalculations. I think that's the phrase from some famous guy. But just on that real quick too. Wars happen because of miscalculation.
Yes. Yeah,
because you either underestimate or overestimate the other side, or make a mistake, or don't call somebody or whatever. But just on that too, real quick, I think for some things, big events in time, to Paul's point, the stakes are higher and lower. And I think for the higher stake things, such as nukes, we figured out, MAD, right? Mutually assured destruction. That was kind of like a check on things. You can debate whether that's good or bad or whatever. But a lot of smart people thought a very long time of how not to end humanity. And I would equate that. And I mean, you could talk about porn and how that's like, this kind
of very harmful. It is. It's very harmful.
It's like, it's hard to even talk about it, right? Because it's this taboo thing and all that stuff too. And there's definitely pros and cons to that, and all these other issues too. But the higher risk things, or the higher, stake things, bad things didn't happen. I wagered to say bad things didn't happen because a lot of smart people took a lot of time to think about them and put policies in place, or they acted in a way to make it not happen. It didn't naturally just not happen. So anyways, Hegel puts it as there's a universal spirit guiding history. And I tend to believe that. I do. Yeah. All these results, like communism collapsing, Nazis losing World War II, the Cold War not turning hot, it kind of reinstitutes that point that there is, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to try to turn this into a religious conversation at all, but there is some type of guiding force that is preventing humanity from destroying itself from its own primal, nature. I think it was, if you guys watch What If Altist, he said basically, shout out to What If Altist, great.
He's awesome. He basically said, to paraphrase, he's like, civilization is a tiny veneer that overshadows what is a very deep savagery right underneath the surface. And as long as I think civilization prospers, I don't believe that this whole world is going to collapse. So
yeah. I like humans. I want humans to be around. I want AI to be this massive like superpower for humans. But I don't think it happens unless we're very careful about it and we're very deliberate. But I think we will be. I think chances are in our favor for sure.
Amen to that. RHMax, thank you so much for offering to come on the channel again this month about this. I really do appreciate this. I haven't really had a discussion about AI with someone. I think I had one cryptocurrency project on years ago called Transhuman Coin. That was, I don't even remember if it was AI or not. But this was a really awesome conversation.
THC. I wonder if it's still around. THC ticker.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. So, all right, Max.
Yeah, it won't be the last one. I don't think it's going away. And we didn't even talk about tokens. We just talked about like the practical uses for productivity and all that stuff, which I think is pretty fascinating and underrated. Nothing else. So, yeah, man, great stream.
Absolutely, brother. All right, thank you so much for your time. Have a great weekend. Everyone, have a great holiday if you celebrate Easter. And have a great one. I'll see you guys. I'll be streaming, I think, twice tomorrow. So, all right, Max. Be easy, brother.
Thanks, everyone.
1 second.
We are out.